This is season 3 of Pregnant with Purpose with Miss Regina Hassan.
This season, our theme is Rhythms of Life. We're going to talk about the new life rhythm, that new season in our lives that we can encounter as we are searching for or seeking our purpose or living out our purpose.
Hey, Miss Regina.
Hey, Brittany.
Take me back to the time where you discovered life, like life was waiting for you to live, like it's finally here for you. You have arrived. Take me back to that time.
Oh, that was an exciting time, realizing that there was so much out there to be lived. There was so much of life to be lived. And before I was a born-again Christian, I really thought that I was really going to do it. You know, I was going to take life by the horns, and I was going to set the world on fire. Didn't know how I was going to do that, but that was my plan, to set it on fire. When I became a born-again Christian, it was a whole different thing, and what I thought was living really wasn't living at all. I was just basically surviving. So that new life feeling of, hey, this is what it feels like to live rather than just survive. I was, just getting by day, and getting to that point where asking myself, is this all it is? And when I became born again, I realized there was so much life to live. There was so much more to do. There were so many things that were possible. The possibilities were endless. And that was a good part of the new life. That was the most exciting part of discovering, hey, it's life out there. Go live it.
So does new life exactly mean living life with purpose? Are they one and the same?
I can say that at the new life, I can't say that I knew what my purpose was. I can't say that I knew, hey, this is what I'm here to do. All I knew is that there was something out there, and even though I hadn't discovered it, I was anxious to find out what it was or what it was going to be.
When you think about new life and being born again, what kind of music do you hear when you think about that time?
I hear that motherland music. I hear the drums playing. I hear that, going back to the motherland type music, that type of vibe.
Yeah.
The rhythm of those drums that give you that heartbeat, that get your heart get your heart moving to the beat. That's what I think about. That's the genre I think about.
Yeah, you got your bass and then they add a little extra 1-2 to it.
Yes,
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So when we're moving to beginnings, and life offers so many beginnings, which ones make the most impact, or which ones mean the most?
Wow, that's a good one. Because there are so many, beginning of a new job, a new career, the beginning of a new relationship, the beginning of a new family. There are so many. But I have to say, for me, probably was the beginning of my recovery. When I realized that I didn't have to live in that life anymore of getting high, doing drugs. That was a great new beginning, because that opened up a whole lot of things that led me to where I'm at today. And that was in the beginning, just admitting that I was powerless over drugs and alcohol, and that my life had become unmanageable. That beginning, even though it was hard admitting that, but that beginning, as I look back, that definitely was the beginning of that definitely was a great beginning for me.
Did you find strength in your new beginning?
Strength in the new beginning. What looks like strength feels like it's strength. Sometimes it's not necessarily, but I could definitely say there's strength in the new beginning. That's a good one, Brittany. It is. That's a good question.
So if we look at, we're talking about new life, so being born again, and then new beginnings. Where, if looking back over all of your life, or maybe just this later part of your life, where do you feel like a part of that started over again, like that life cycle started over again?
Yeah, I would say yes, because when I first came to Christ, even though I was an adult, I was an adult too when I came into recovery. I was like 28 years old, and I would have to say when I just entered into a relationship with Christ for myself, not as a child, but for myself. I was an adult then. And yeah, there were times that it felt like starting all over again. I felt like a child again. But I did get to the point in life where it says in the world, when you were a child, you acted like a child, but now that I am an adult, I put away childish things, or now that I'm older, so I can definitely say that in those times, it did feel like starting all over. I did feel like I had to take baby steps. I had to take baby steps when I was first in recovery. I was taking baby steps. I was eating, I was eating baby food, like they describe it. When I first got into a relationship with Christ, I was eating the baby food that they talk about, just piecemeal. Couldn't take everything at one time. But yeah, it definitely felt like at times starting from the beginning or starting over as a child. And my behavior too, a lot of times, even though I was 28 years old, my behavior a lot of times was very childlike. I remember someone sharing that with me when I complained about the way my parents were treating me. And someone shared with me, if you keep acting like a child, they'll keep treating you like a child. So my behavior also was childlike.
So if it felt like starting over, how did you know that it was time for that version or that part of your life to die?
I don't think it becomes automatic. I think I just got to a point, or we can sometimes get to a point when we know that old stuff is not healthy, it's not good for us, it's not producing any fruit, and that's a good indicator that it is time to that part is time to die, and it's time for a new life.
Are new beginnings scary? How do you push past the fear?
Wow, yeah, they can be scary. They really can, because usually new beginnings indicate change, and nobody likes change. Well, a lot of people don't like change. I had a pastor who once said the only people that like change is a wet baby, and for the most part. And so a lot of times with new beginnings, it means that something has to be different. And what's really scary is that the difference has to come from within me, not with outside of me, which if it was outside of me, I felt like it'd be a lot easier. But really, the change has to come from within. So facing the fear it's okay. It's okay that you're afraid. It's okay. It's okay that you are stepping off in the unknown. That's where that faith factor comes in, because faith is how we overcome fear.
If you could do it all over again and begin differently, what would you do differently?
Oh, wow. I always think about that, and I always say, maybe I wouldn't have gotten into that relationship, or, maybe I wouldn't have. But I think that a lot of things that happened set me up for where I am at today, put me on the journey that I'm at today. And because of the fact that the God I serve already knows that I'm going to wander off path, that he's patient enough to help me get on path. So it was real important. Some of those things that I had to endure, I needed to go through those things so I could come out learning what I learned today. So I'm sure it's a few things that I would change, I might do differently, but for the most part, I would say that I think that a lot of that stuff got me to where I'm at today.
Being a beautiful, bountiful 60-plus community leader, what would you tell someone else who's stepping into new life?
Wow. Go for it. Go for it. Nothing beats a failure but a try. Go for it. That's the only way you're gonna find out. And if you fail, learn something from the failure. But don't let anything stop you. Fear, anxiety, what other people say, your negative self-talk. Don't let that stop you. Go ahead, start it all over. It cannot be. It will not be. Let me say, it will not be as bad as a lot of times we're thinking that it will be. A lot of times it's just stuff going on in my head. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen. So, for the most part, I would say go for it. Go for it. Hey, if it doesn't work out, learn from it. But go forward. Go forward.
Is there a real thing as equipping for a new beginning? Can you equip
Equipping?
yourself? Yeah. Like, when I lose 15 pounds, then I'm going to do
Get
this
ready,
better.
get ready. No. No. I don't believe there is. There are certain things that you can start to wrap your mind around to help you get off into your new beginnings. I believe that. But I think that, when you try to prepare for it, that sometimes that's gonna stop, or that's gonna put off the learning process of what God is really trying to show you. So the best way I would say, if you're gonna have to prepare, is to be open-minded, be obedient, be open to what God may be willing to show you, or what God is trying to show you.
I've enjoyed our conversation today, Miss Regina.
Wow.
It was really enlightening.
I have too, Brittany. Thank you. You had some good questions.
Thank you.
I don't know where you got them from, but they were really good. And that's episode 2. As we continue on with our rhythms of life, our next episode, we're going to be looking at what are we looking at?
The sunrise.
The sunrise of our lives. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, we're going to be looking at the sunrise season of our life. And I hope you join me. Please don't forget to watch, listen, whatever you do, however you watch or enjoy this podcast, continue to do so. But watch, listen, like, subscribe. Yeah, that's the word I was missing. Yeah. Watch, listen, like, and subscribe. And remember, you know how I like to say it. If you're not dead, then God's not done. See you. Bye.